Good evening, everyone. I welcome you all in this session. Let's wait for 5 minutes for everyone to join. All the participants, please call or text their friends to join this session. Please inform your friends, remind them again to join this. Everyone, please join. Please remind your friends to join as fast as they can. We already have our guest here. Well, I guess we should start. Majority of people are already here. So, good evening, everyone. I welcome you all in this session, and I would like you all to welcome our guest, Mr. Shushant Kumar, sir.
Hello, sir.
Okay, just mute yourself. Just write in the chat box. Sir, welcome in this session. I, Babri Rajesh Sharma, welcoming you all. Welcome you, sir, on the behalf of DSC team and all the participants.
Hey, hi guys. Am I audible properly? First of all, yeah, that's a basic thing
Yes,
that you should ask before joining a session. Yeah.
yes, sir, you're
So
audible.
yes, and I'm
And
visible.
before we start, sir, I would really like to introduce you.
Yeah, sure.
Everyone, give a big round of applause. I know we are online here, but just still do this. This
Yes, yes.
legend is a product designer in Zeta Suite since 2019. Before that, he worked as a designer in various companies like DFS Services, Redbus, and many more. Plus, on top of that, he's also a mentor in My Captain and since 2020. And I'm not gonna describe all the stuff because it has lot of history and lots of careers and lots of skills he have expertised in. So the basics things are here, a brief intro, and I would also like to mention that he also has a specialization in UI, UX designing, web designing, graphic designing, and many more. So, just everyone, amigos, tight your seatbelts, get ready to grab all the knowledge, experience, and skills which Sir is going to share us. Please continue, Sir. I request you to start the session. Thank you.
Sure. First of all, good evening, everyone. And yeah, and people might not be knowing about me and might not be knowing more about what design is and will I know about design here, like what design is a basic thing. Anyone? Before that, let me share my screen first so that you can. Yeah, just a second. Is it visible? Is it visible to everyone? I just want to confirm. Okay. I think it's visible, right?
Yes, sir, it's
Yeah,
visible.
cool. So first of all, good evening, everyone, and yeah, and let me tell you about myself, that what I am and what I'm doing currently. So I'm Sushant, and from the name and from the poster, you get to know that what I'm doing. So I'm product designer in Zeta, India, and if you want to find me, you can find me in this handle sush.exe in Instagram and in other portion like LinkedIn, Facebook, or other places. You can find me in a Sushant Kumar. You'll get it. So what we do, like, I just want to start from this point only. So what do you think as a designer, what we do, like basic thing, like if you can tell me that what as a designer, what we do as a product designer. Anyone? You can unmute yourself if possible, and you can speak if you are allowed. I don't know you are allowed or not. Yes, if you're allowed, then you can speak that what we do basically. Or like, have you ever heard about this term product designer? Anyone? I can't able to see the messages. If anyone can tell that what are the messages I'm getting so that it will be easier for me to get it.
Sir, people are saying it's communicate visually and
Okay.
designing apps, problem solving, something like that.
Okay, fine. So it's basically communicate visually, problem solving, design apps. So yeah. So mostly what we do, everyone is kind of right. We try to design, you can say design for apps and websites. And you might have heard about the different name of is a UI UX. If I'm not wrong. Like you might have heard about the term UI UX, if I'm not wrong, correct? So what we do over there, we try to design apps. So what it means about designing an app, that is we try to design, you can say, icons, we try to design the buttons, how it's look like, all kind of things. So what is the process to design a button? Can anyone tell me what is the process, or let me show you? Firstly, what we do, we try to create, you can say, a rectangle first, like if you're creating a button, and then we try to color it out, like you can give a gradient or any color we can give. And to make it more visually correct, we try to curve it so that it will look more like a button. And after that, like if it is not that much, you can say, intuitive, then we try to give a certain shadow. You can see the shadow, correct, in the shadow in the background. We try to give a certain shadow in the background, and after that, if the what the button name is, we try to write the name. So this is the basic process to make a button. So do you guys think that it's the only thing that we're doing in a company and we're getting paid for this? Anyone, like, what are the else what we do? Like, we only create design only, or what are other things that we do? Anyone? To help user interact with the content or the website and apps, yes. Plan the product, cool, nice. Anyone else? Like, please try to be more, you can say, cooperative and try to reply as much as possible, because from this, we even generally what happens, I give sessions in open kind of places, right? So I can talk to people, all kind of things. So please try to reply as much as possible.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, hi.
Hello, sir. Prakash here.
Yeah, hi.
So basically, I think you are developing an experience through that. Suppose I have to fix a target. So providing that option of visibility aspect of that button,
Okay.
that should convert the task, I guess.
Okay, fine, cool.
Yeah.
So there are a lot of things that we do as a designer. We try to plan how the app will look like. We try to plan the flow, all kind of things that we decide, and then we try to implement all those things. But when people heard the term design, they always think that we only design things. So it is a very, you can say, myth that people think that, okay, we only design. So firstly, we try to plan out all those things, that how things will look like, what are things that I can do, what not. And then we reach to the conclusion that, okay, we are designing this thing like this. Correct. So obviously we'll talk about some plans that we try to execute and how we try to reach to the certain platform, and all about those. Right. So yeah, let me go back to this screen. So again, as I'd already introduced myself, that I'm Shushant Kumar, product designer, Zeta, and you can follow me in this place if you want to. Before that, like before joining Zeta, before doing my product designing work or any design work, I was in KIT. Like, if you might have heard about the KIT name, it is in Bhubaneswar, and I was a electronic and electrical engineer studying over there from 2015 to 2019. I know many people are engineers, right? Like doing engineering, if I'm not wrong. How many people are doing engineering here? I just want to know. Is it everyone, or like people out there are not doing? All. Yes, nice. So what are the branches you guys are in? I just want to know. Like anyone, CSC, EC, everyone IT. Nice, CSC. Many people are from CSC, so I can understand that what you guys are coming from. It's pretty good. What is IP? I literally don't know what IP is. Can you please elaborate or try to tell what the IP stands for?
Industrial and production.
Oh, dude, nice.
So it's industrial production.
Okay, cool. Thanks. Okay, nice. Oh, pretty good. So how many branches are there in college? I just want to know. Like, any people who can tell how many branches are there in a college? 7. Nice. Cool. Awesome. So yes, I was also the similar kind of student, and I was studying in KIT in Bhubaneswar, if you heard about that name. And I was doing electronics and electrical engineering. That is one of the branch of my college. Over there, my hobby was just a graphic design. I know many people are here whose hobbies can be different, dancing, music, all kind of things. So in my college, my hobby was a graphic design. So what I used to do, and my friends, or my, you can say, students of my college used to call me poster guy or a designer. This is a name that I used to get it from my college students. And other than that, like, because I used to design all kind of things like poster, t-shirts, ID card, batches, all kind of things. I know people are here who have done this thing for their college. I literally just want to know how many people are here who used to design, or like who are designing this kind of things like me, with which I was doing in my college, like posters, you can say t-shirt, ID card. And the reason behind this, why I was doing this, because like the person who design all kind of things, right, people, they find that okay, they are a group of certain societies or event which is happening in your college, correct? This is similar for me in my time when I was doing all kind of things. And from there I started thinking that okay, design is the thing that I can do and I can make my future. I know people are here who might be thinking that okay, I am here doing my engineering, but I don't know what to do in future, because sometimes people are not that much interested in coding, if I'm not wrong. Because yeah, I was the person who was good in coding, but I was not that much interested in coding. I know people are here out there also, like you might have taken CSE or IT or other things, but you are not that much interested in coding. I just want to know a basic, you can say, poll that some people are interested in coding here or not interested. You can write in the chat that you are interested or not. Anyone out here? Okay, everyone is interested. Oh, awesome. That's pretty good. No. I know people are here like who are in CSC. You can tell it properly, dude. It's fine, because I am not your professor who I'm not gonna give you marks. So it's fine. You can tell it here that okay, I'm not that much interested, or as your professor is there, I don't know. So yes, you can tell it that okay, something is like you're not interested or you're interested. So yes, you can tell it here. It's fine. So yes, similar to you guys, I was also in college few years back, around you can say 4 to 5 years back. I was in college. I was I was like not that much into coding, but like what happens when you're studying private college, mostly company comes for a, you can say, for the coding based services, correct, if I'm not wrong. Similar for me. So I had started in similar way where I was not that much into coding, but I used to love all kind of things, how to design. And this is the one thing that actually, if you're doing a college, it makes you somehow popular around your batchmates, around your, you can say, junior seniors, right? So I used to do those things and I was very much happy around that. And after that, I don't want to go to my history that how I reached to the design, but I can tell you that I got placed in Standard Chartered, if you heard about that bank name, as a consultant. But I'm really not that much interested in consulting, so I try to think that okay, why not design? If you're good in that, why not just go ahead with this and try to make something around that? So yeah, this is how I reached to this place. And let me try to take you to the what are the things that we're going to study today and we're going to learn today. So yes, so last night I was trying to make this PPT, correct? And what happened on that time, one of my friend called me, and it was around 3 a.m. When my friend called me, and I was doing something and I didn't pick his call, right? After that, what happened, I have seen that one missed call was there. So what happens when in a 3 a.m. if your friend is calling you and you are also night owl and he's also night owl, then you think okay, it's fine, he's just calling to do a chit chat, basic chit chat about life and all, because you do about chit chat of life at 3 or 2 a.m., right? You can say 3 a.m. to a friends. That generally happens, right? So if this is my friends called me at 3 4 a.m. So when my friend called me, I didn't think too much, because I thought okay, it's my friend and he knows that I'm a night owl and he's also night owl, so it's very basic, you can say. But just think the same scenario when your mom is calling you in 3 4 a.m. Will you think similar in that time? Will you? I just want to know. Yes, no. Why no? I just want to know. I just want to know that why you will say no. The reason behind no is what I feel that whenever your parents call you at you can say a different time, like 3 a.m. or like 1 a.m., you always think a lot that something might happen in my place. That okay, something is not happening good, or like you will feel, or you'll think a lot about that scenario, right? So, but what happens if your mom call you at 3 a.m. and just change the time here? Like if your mom is calling you at 5:34 p.m., will you think same? No, because your mom is calling you at 5:34 p.m. is a very basic time where you, even my mom called me to know what I am doing, have I done my snacks or not, all kind of things that parents ask at evening, if I'm not wrong, correct? So this is the basic thing that happened. So like how it happened, like how you get to know when your mom call you or friend call you, how do you get to know, or you try to take a decision to call that person or not, what was the thought over there? So the thing that we say is known as prediction. We try to predict it that okay, this person is calling in that time. That means okay, I know that person, I know their behavior, I know what they do, all kind of things. That stuff I know about that person. Correct. So I predicted in such a way that okay, if my friend's calling me at 3 a.m., then it's very common. But if my mom is calling me at 3 a.m., then it's very unusual for me. Right. So this is what we have done. We try to make a prediction, or in a design world we say as a design thinking. So this is a basic design thinking definition that you will get it from the Wikipedia, that design thinking refers to the cognitive, strategic and practical process by which design concept, proposal for product building, machines, communication, etc. develop, blah blah blah. So this is what you'll get in our Wikipedia. But what I generally think about what design thinking should be is like making smart prediction based on situation, time, people, and etc. So even what we have done there, that we try to make a smart prediction according to the situation, that okay, I'm not my place, what's the time it is, and who is the person who is calling me, right? So I try to make a basic prediction according to the situation, time, and people. So this is what we say as a design thinking. That's a basic thing that we designers always try to make it when we are designing any app. So you might be not knowing what Zeta is. Some people know what Zeta is, I just want to know. And we will have heard this term ever? Anyone? No. Anyone? Oh, I think it's a big no. I know, because yeah, because we are very C2C company, like commercial to commercial. We work for the basic companies, not for the, you can say, general people. Right? That's why people have not heard about this term. So I'm going to heard about Sodexo here, if I'm not wrong. Sodexo. Anyone heard about Sodexo? Yes, no. You can, if you can say no, it's totally fine. I will explain. So what we do in Zeta, we try to make a finance app that people are going to use, and people are going to use in a different banks. Like we make apps for HDFC, we make apps for ICS. So basically we make products that you can say that are bigger companies like banks try to buy those things according to their choices. Correct. And but our primary work is like, if you heard about the Sodexo, Sodexo is basically, you can say, such a, you can say, cafeteria app, or you can say benefits app, which people use in their companies to buy food from their restaurants, from the cafeterias, all kind of things that they generally use. And so it's a very long process. I don't want to go inside it, but yes, if your parents know, I think many people here, like whose parents have Sodexo app, where they try to buy food from the cafeterias, or like there are lots of benefits that they get from the Sodexo app. So similar, Zeta is doing the similar thing primarily, but now we are very much into banking. We try to make a banking platform for different banks, and we try to make those things. Right. So this is what we do. So in a system, when we try to do a design thinking, that what design thinking is, what are the things that people generally know about, people should know about, and we try to make a smart prediction that okay, if you are the person, or if you are, you can say, if you are the children, or if you are the college students, then how this app will be useful for you. What are things, like if you're in college, then how this app will be useful for you. So we always try to think in such a way that okay, what are the prediction that we should make, what are the situation, what are the time people should there. So when I was in school, or when I was in college, you can say, when I was making poster, so I've shown you one poster at this one, wait, this one, right? So it was an event, basic event that happened in my college, Devil's Advocate, which was very new on that time, and literally, and even I was new to the design system in my college. So they asked me to make a poster for the college event, where people should come and try to talk about a topic in as a form of Devil's Advocate. You know that from the term, right? So they have to debate around certain topic. So when I made this poster, I have a certain things in my mind that okay, there are people who wanna come, who wanna debate. So from that topics, from that point, I get to know okay, I have to make this poster in such a way. Even this poster is not completed, I feel, because if I try to see according to what I'm doing currently in my life, I will say it's not completed, because you will find that there's no locations there, there's no time like when this event will happen, all kind of thing is not there. So you can say I was very noob on that time. Like, I think you guys know what noob is, right? Because people are here from a YouTube generation, if I'm not wrong. So I was very noob on that time, and I was not knowing how designs should work and all kind of things should happen. Right. So this is what I was doing. But now when I'm doing all kind of things, when I know that how user will be very much useful when they are reading all those stuff and when they're knowing all the stuff. So yes, I was doing all this stuff. So let's come back to where we were. Okay, fine. So I just want to give you an option, like just think, because today we are doing an online session, but if COVID's in have never happened, then might be I was in college and I was giving a talk. So yeah, this might can be happen. But okay, just think that if you want to give me a treat, right? If you want to give me a treat for of ice cream, then which flavor you'll choose for me, coffee or chocolate? Basic. Please give me a reason also, that why chocolate or whatever you are writing. You can unmute yourself and go ahead, and you can unmute yourself and tell that why chocolate, all kind of things. Coffee, okay. Anyone, just go for it. Like, okay, nice. The Punjabi lassi, okay, fine. Programmer, okay, cool. Anyone else? Like, just guys, everyone try to cooperate, try to write answers or whatever you're feeling. I'm not here judging you, so it's totally fine if you write something here. Butterscotch, most people are also including love to eat. Okay, fine. Anything else? Just go for it too. Totally fine. Vanilla. Okay. Anything else? Okay, fine. In a good way. So I had given you certain thing about myself. If you think in such a way that I have told a lot about myself, that what I do, what kind of things that I do, all kind of things. From there, think in a such a way that okay, what I've told about myself and what you know about me, and from there just go with that. Cool. Right. So I have shown you this thing, that you have to ask you to select that which should I look for, which I to go for. Okay, so Maria said you stay late night. Okay, fine, cool. I will go with that. So yeah, so some people know, like even I told you that I'm a night owl, so it's a confirm, right? I'm night owl, so I might be having coffee, all kind of things. Drink coffee, it's maybe, or like coffee, it's maybe. So one thing is confirmed, that I'm a night owl, I drink coffee or like likes coffee, correct? These are three things that you know till now about me, right? But if I told you that I hate cold coffee, then what will be your answer? Like if I hate cold coffee, then chocolate, obviously, right? From there you get to know that I might like chocolate, correct? That if I told you that I hate cold coffee, then from that both option that you had, from there you get it that okay, the answer is chocolate, right? So this is what basic things that we try to make a prediction for the person, about what that person is, what they're doing, and what are the things that we're looking for. So till now what we have done, we try to make up predictions, that okay, this is the person that who doesn't like all those things, and we try to remove certain things, that because I don't like all those things. So this is what we see as a design thinking, or you can say prediction that we make for each person, correct? That's a basic, right? And next topic should I will go with the experience. So what is the first thing that comes in your mind when you hear the term experience? I just want to know. Anyone ever heard the term experience? Anyone, just go for it. What is experience for you? I just want to know. Years of doing a particular work, a lesson learned from the past states, who makes less mistakes in the field. Okay, it's fine. Result of hard work. To become a pro in a field, learn from failures and win. Okay. Any sudden unexpected changes. Cool. So there are lots of things that people said, and people are right somehow. And yeah. So let me try to go back to the slide and try to tell that what experience is. And people have seen this thing ever. Like whatever is in screen, and people have seen this thing. And what is this? I just want to know. Is it visible, right? Magnifying glasses. Magnifying. Okay. So I'm sure that you have never used this thing, but maybe your grandparents have used it to read newspaper and all kind of things. If I'm not wrong, correct? Okay. If any person used it, can you please tell me why? Like, what is the reason and why you used it in experiments? Oh, dude. So you used to.
To
So
watch
that's
small things to sit in the big size.
yeah. So we used those things, but generally our grandparents use those kind of objects, not us. Like we don't use it in our daily life. Correct. So this thing is not that much familiar with us, if I'm not wrong. But when I talk about this, wait, I try to minimize this thing and try to make it like this. And this is also similar to magnifying glasses. If I turn this into this, is it familiar now to you? What it is? Is it familiar? Yes, what it is? Can you guys tell me what it is like? Yes, smaller classes we used to warn people in the search bar. So yes, from there, like what we have done here, like magnifying glasses we used, but we are not using in such a way that it should be. Correct. We are using, because you have never used magnifying glasses to search something. But what happened over there in for us, like we are the YouTube generation, you can say we are very tech people. We are using such things in a, such an object, correct. But like we as a people, we have never used, or like even our parents never, grandparents never used for first, you can say, for searching thing. They always used it to magnifying certain thing. But nowadays, when we are very, you can say, young generation who are very techie people, from whenever you show this object, they will always think that okay, this is the object that people use for the searching. This is the way, like you will find in Google, where if you click on this, it will give you a certain, you can say, search option. They will give you 1,000 and more than that search option on that object. But people never thought that this will work in a such a way, or this is this what it means basically, right? So we know because we use it in a such a way. So nowadays, people, whenever you try to show this icon to people, they will always say it is for the search icon. It is. They will never say it is for the magnifying glasses, where we try to increase the size or decrease the size according to ourselves. Correct. And because we are the techie people, we know that how it's work and what is the use of this. Like when we are doing research, like when I was making the app for the HDFC, if you heard about the Pays app, if when people heard about the Pays app, we are currently working on that Pays app. And one of my colleague, you can say, who went to a small town in Northeast, he went there and he had just shown the whole app to that person. Then that person said just, why there's a badminton in your app? Correct. So for him, it was a badminton. The reason behind he has seen the badminton, because the shape is very similar to the badminton. Correct. So we as a tech people, we know that how it's look like, how the icon should look like, because we are using it every day. But if people who are not using it every day, then they might not be knowing it, that what is the use of this, how to make it much more productive, and what are the things that we can do from that, right? So this is the thing what experience means. When you use anything for a longer time, or in such a way that where people can use it and people can find that okay, you can do this and do that. So this is what we call as experience, that it is coming from using it for a number of times. Right. So yes. Any doubt till anyone having anything that you can ask on want to convey. Obviously, I will take our question session in the end. So if you have a basic questions about design, about anything, you can ask me in the later half. But if till now anyone have any doubt, anything, you can ask. If not, then we can proceed. Or if it is not, you can write no in a chat. It's totally fine. Cool.
Designing something.
Hi, Pragati.
Hello, sir.
Hi.
I want to ask, like, how to begin with designing something? What would be the first step?
Oh, okay. Can I answer this question in the end, because I know mostly many people want to know about this. Right? It's better. I will try to discuss about all those things in the end. Right? Cool. Okay. So let me take you to this again, and the next step is thinking. So I just want you to close your eyes for a, you can say, 3 to 4 seconds. Everyone, I know I can't see you, but then also please try to cooperate and close your eyes for a second. Done? Everyone done? Yes. So if, okay, I will say a word. You from there, like what you are imagining, please let me know. Okay, my word is apple. Correct? My word is apple. Now you guys can open your eyes. Is it done? Yes. 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 Cool. Cool. So let's go ahead. I just want to know how many people have thought about this apple when I said you apple. Please write +1 in the chat. Like if you thought about this apple. +1. Right? Okay. Next is, and you will have thought about this apple when I said apple to you. You can write +2 so that I can differentiate. Right? You can write +2 if you, and we will have thought about that apple, because nowadays this apple is very much common. Everyone have a certain device like Apple devices. No one. I just want to know. Okay, people are there. Okay, fine. People are there. I've thought about this apple too. Correct. So because nowadays everyone is using it a lot, everyone has a certain device, or maybe people are just sitting with that apple. Right? It can happen. Next is, and we will have thought about this apple. If you don't know what this, if you thought about this, right, +3. So what it is basically, if you know Adam and Eve is there and they have, you might be knowing right what this apple is. We would have thought about this apple. Okay, people are there who have thought about this. Nice, awesome. Cool, nice, awesome. And people have thought about this apple. Nice, apple. Like it's a, you might be knowing this is Newton, right? And when you're sitting there, wherever I don't know, let an apple fall. Correct, nice. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Let's go ahead then. And you will have thought about this apple, or you might have ever, like, and you will know what it is, or have you ever seen this thing? Or can you tell me what it is? And you will have thought about this apple. I'm pretty sure that no one ever thought about this. Many people don't know what this is actually. So this is our Apple office. What do you say? So I just want to know why people have not thought about this. They've thought about Apple fruit, they thought about Apple device, they thought about even they thought about Newton. Why they not thought about headquarters of this? What are the reasons? They are not familiar to these things. They doesn't know that okay, these things exist or these might exist anything. So when we do make something, when we try to make an app design in such a way that people should try to relate what is happening here, how they're doing ahead. So if I'm talking about real, let me give you one more example of how we work in a design. Okay, ever went to Big Bazaar? Or let me be specific. Big Bazaar, every fashion Big Bazaar, or you can say apparel office. And people ever went to Big Bazaar? Like upside down. We are not. I just want to know the people who have not went to Big Bazaar till yet. Or is it not there in a college you can say nearby? I just want to know. I never went to Bilaspur, that's why I'm asking. Is it there? Yes, awesome. So my people of Big Bazaar appearance. So this is number one. I just want to compare it with Zara. On the way to Zara, you can write plus one for this. If you went to Zara. So I'm just talking about the fashion section, not about how big the operates in different things. I'm talking about only fashion sections. Right. So there are people who never went to Zara, and people who went to Zara. I just want to give you a basic. When people heard of, like I think people have heard about Zara, if I'm not wrong, right? If you might have heard about Zara.
Zara.
Not we Zara, Zara is a company. Right. But good. Thanks. But yes. Cool. Okay. So can you tell me what is the basic difference between Zara and Big Bazaar if you are into this space? Don't tell me the price. I don't know the price. I know anything. Design. Okay, anything? Anyone? Like any more thing that like you might have heard about Zara's company, right? And the quality, okay, design, the quality is okay. Any other thing that you want to go ahead? International stuff in Zara maybe, product for everyone because of okay, origin. Showroom is more aesthetic in Zara maybe. Okay, maybe okay, cool. And its look. Appearance, okay, nice. Anything else that you want to add? Design. Logo. Oh, dude, not go for logo and design. Okay, fine. So let me tell you. So when we talk about Big Bazaar, right? So this is how Big Bazaar look from inside. The major things that I'm talking about Big Bazaar and Zara is their value. The value is totally different for both the things. So people might tell that Big Bazaar always work for values, but Zara is also work for values, but their audience are totally different, right? The person who are kindly rich, they go to Zara to buy their to do shoppings and all, but the person who are around middle class, they just go to Big Bazaar and try to things look for this. The difference, the major difference is basically is how they try to keep their shops. So you might have went to Big Bazaar, and this is how Big Bazaar looks like from the inside, if I'm not wrong, correct? Yes, no, and yes, if I'm not wrong, this is how it's looked like from the inside, where they try to arrange all the clothes, like what are the, you can say, similar color clothes in a one way over their different sizes, like 32, 36, 34. What are the different sizes they have? They have a t-shirt corner, they have a jeans corner, they have all kind of things are there in their places. Correct. So they try to arrange in such a way that if you're looking for a t-shirt, you will find in a place where, okay, it's a 32 size, 36, 34. All kind of t-shirt you'll find in a one place. You'll find all kind of a, you can say, shirt in one place, you'll find all kind of a pant in one place, all kind of things that you get it in Big Bazaar. But when you talk about Zara, what happens? Even they, whatever you see in the middle part, right, it always change according to the seasons, that what season it is. Like for example, if it's a winter, they try to keep warm clothes. If it is a summer, they try to keep normal clothes, cool clothes. But the thing which are there, if you find, which are there in the sides, right, it never change. Let's try to zoom it out. So this is how it's look like, which are there in the sides. They never change this section. The reason behind this, why they're not changing it, because when any person is coming to Zara, right, they are, first of all, what they're getting from this place is they're getting that they have a mannequins, lot of mannequins where all things are totally arranged, right? So what arranged means over there, so if I'm going to Zara and I can see that, okay, if I'm looking for a certain t-shirt, so they are keeping those things with a pant also, that it will look good with this pant. So what will happen in Big Bazaar, I have to search by myself that, okay, if I bought this t-shirt, then what are the pant that will go with this, or what are the jeans that it will go with this. But when you go to Zara, you will find that, okay, if you're buying this, they already tried to match it up with such a pant or jeans that will look good with that, right? So that's why they have a different audience basically. So if, just think that if Big Brother is doing that kind of things like what Zara is doing, will it work? No. The reason behind this why it will not work because their audience is totally different. For example, you are the person who are going to buy certain things in Big Bazaar and you just want to buy t-shirt. You don't want to buy jeans because you already have a 3 jeans which you can wear with 10 t-shirts. Right. So you don't want to buy one more jeans. You can buy one t-shirt and it will look different. But if any person is going to Zara, they are not thinking in such a way because for them money comes in, you can say, third to fourth stage, not in the first stage. But if a person is going to Big Bazaar, their major thought is about money. So that's the thing. It totally depends upon the users, what kind of users they have, what kind of customer they have, and what are their needs. So this is how a design works. So you have to first think about what are the customer needs and how, like, what kind of a customer is coming to your shop and what are the things that they are buying. So if you know about the customer needs and all kind of things, then you will behave accordingly. So I can, and what we say as this as a user persona. I'm going to heard about this term user persona. I just want to know. Like we always think about user, that what that user is, what kind of a dress that he will wear out. So user persona is very similar. I have used user persona. From there, the term is user persona, not user person. Right? The reason behind this is I am the person and I can have a 2 to 3 different personas. What it can be, I can tell. Like for example, if I'm going to any date, just take example. If I'm going to any date, then I may order a totally a different thing. But if I'm in work in my office, then I may order a very casual, right? If I'm going to a, you can say, to a Starbucks in my date, but if I'm in my office, I will just go to a stall and I will have my tea or coffee. Correct. So this is what I'm the single user, but I have a 2 different personas. That's why we call as a user persona. That we have to think about what kind of person is coming to a shop, what kind of person who is designing our app, or what kind of person who want to use our app, and we have to behave accordingly. This is what we say as a user persona. Right? And yeah, next is one more example that I want to give here. Is a very basic, that very basically people generally follow, but they don't think. If this is a thanks, basic thanks, right? So if I'm saying you thanks, then this will work, right? But if I'm saying a thanks with emojis like this, right, then what is happening here? It is a basic thanks which is doing its functional work. But to make it more delightful, what I do, I try to add certain emotion to it, or you can say certain emojis to it, which will look good in that thing, which will tell about the user, that which will tell that, okay, it's looking good, or which is doing good or not. So this is what a delight means to. do you know what delight means? I just want to know what delight meaning. Anyone have heard about the term delight? How many people have ever used Google Pay? Just want to know. How many people ever used Google Pay? Anyone? Yes, right? Everyone. So what they give, if I'm not wrong, they try to give a certain scratch card, right? So whenever you try to whenever you try to scratch that card, what happens? Maybe you'll get a certain amount of money, or maybe not. Right? This is what generally happens. So this is a basic delight that they try to add to their apps to make it very much useful. That what are the things that people are using it. If we are giving certain delight to the person, they will feel happy for a certain moment, and they know that this is not a usual thing, but it is adding certain delight to their app or delight to the customer. Or I can give you one more example of delight. What delight is basically, or obviously I'll talk about this in later. And people have ever went to circus, or you can say Mela, if I'm not wrong. Everyone, right? If I'm not wrong, Mela. So you might feel very different on that day because lightings are very different, the color is very different. So what is happening? You are feeling very delightful over there. That okay, things are very good, things are going very much awesome, and it's very delightful. Correct. This is how it's work. But every day, if if Mela is there every day, will you feel the similar things? If I'm not wrong, no, right? It will not similar, right? Because you will find that okay, it's a very common thing, everyday thing is there, all kind of things will be. It's very monotonous. It's very simple, right? So these are what delights are. What people are nowadays giving in the apps. Nowadays, even if you ever use Google, and if net is not there, if network is not there, then what happens? They give you a certain game to stay busy over there, so that you will not feel that okay, if net is not there, I will get bored, right? So what is happening in that platform? They are adding all kind of things to stay connected to you, so that you will not go away and use different platform. Because generally what happens, if net is there, a few days back I think Instagram or WhatsApp, all kind of apps get stopped for hours or 15 minutes, correct? And if I'm not wrong, if you guys know that it happened around at 11 or 12, I don't know. Yes. So many people are not knowing that what to do on that time, because people are so much connected to that WhatsApp, Instagram. Then they open Twitter and check that okay, does it really happen, or like my network is not working, or kind of thing is not happening, right? So what happens? So these are basic delightful. So if on that time, if Insta or WhatsApp have done certain thing to make their customer engage, or tell that okay, we are lagging for a certain issues, you can do these things, or you can do other things to make it useful to stay connected. Or like nowadays even Amazon is doing this kind of things. If network is not working, they are showing a cat dog picture. If you're not wrong, they're showing a dog or dog pictures in that time, that okay, if it's not working, you can refresh again and you will find that okay, it's looking good, it's looking pretty, and all kind of things is happening. So this is what is happening. We as a designer have to understand that what does the customer need, how they are going ahead, like how to keep them engaged in any app, all kind of things to make it very much easier for them, right? So this is a basic, we talk about the delights and all basic designs. Next, and you'll have seen this remote, if I'm not wrong, this one. Yes, no, like if I'm not wrong, that people might have this kind of remote in their place, or like it was there earlier in their home, right? Yes, sir. So what you will find in this option, that you will find there around 20 to 30 buttons are there, correct? If I'm not wrong, 20 to 30 buttons are there. And people are nowadays, like if you are a design enthusiast or design aspirant, then you might have known that people are nowadays comparing with this device to this Apple remote, correct? That they're comparing this, that earlier remote is having this much button, but now Apple have brought up with lesser buttons so that people can use it in a much more easier manner. But do you know why Apple have made this kind of remote? The major reason of making this kind of remote was so that if any person is just, you can say, broadcasting or just chromecasting to their TV or devices, so that they can use it this. But we are in middle class family, we generally not watch Netflix or Amazon in our TV. We have Tata Sky in a place, right? If I'm not wrong. So if we are buying certain kind of a TV where we are plugging Tata Sky, then what will happen? We need certain remote to help that remote. Correct. So this is the basic thing that we are doing currently, and which, if design is not good, like I will not talk about this as a very good design for India as a middle class country, right? We'll not talk about a good design. But the thing is that, like, if you're using this kind of a remote, then you need one plus remote, like one more remote to make it more useful, which we use for a Tata Sky remote. Correct. So which can be a good thing, which cannot be a good thing. I will not commit, I will not say it's a bad thing, but maybe in future it will work in a good way. But in India or in anywhere, I don't think so it is working in a good way. One more thing I just want to convey here. How many people have seen this thing in their home? Anyone have seen this thing in your home? Yes, no, yes, no. Or anywhere. If you went to any cafe or any places, like you might went to that place. Is it microwave? Correct, if I'm not wrong. Yeah. So oven, you can say anything, it's fine. Oven. Okay, fine. So generally what happens, I'm a working person, so I don't have that much time to cook food for myself. And if I'm staying in Bangalore, I literally don't have that much time to cook for myself. So what I do, a cook comes in my place, she made food for me, and when I have to eat, I just use this oven or microwave, you can say, to warm my food. Okay, this is a basic thing that I do. But like generally, if I'm the one thing that I'm doing to warming my food, right? So in that time, I generally use 3 to 4 buttons or less than that. Like if I have to warm any kind of a food, then what I will do, what are the procedure? I will open the door, and then I will try to put my food and then lock it. And if I have to increase the time, I will increase or decrease it accordingly. Correct. This is what generally I do if I have to warm my food. Correct. This is a basic thing that I do if I'm not wrong. And even you guys are doing the similar thing if you have to warm any kind of a food. Correct. So let's try to zoom this out and try to tell that, okay, there are around 15 to 10 buttons are there, which are there, and I literally don't know what is the use of those things. So let me give you one scenario here, because things are getting quite boring. So I will just try to give you one scenario over here. So just think, I came to a college, just think, and I bring certain pizza with me, and I ask you to, okay, I'm giving pizza to everyone. You can use your oven, which is kept over there. Try to warm your food and have it. So the basic scenario over here is you have to use the oven to warm your food and have it. Correct. Then I just want to, if you have paper pen with you currently, can you please design a model which will be very much easier for you to keep in an oven, or like how the oven button should look like, all kind of things. Is it possible? However, I just want to know, like, people are here with pen, paper, anything. Just if you want to write something in a chat, you can write that. I have no issue. You can tell that what are the buttons should be there, because yeah. Is it possible? Just want to know. Anyone who are doing it, you can write yes, no, anything in the chat. If you are trying to make something, please let me know that you are making or not. So try to make a basic design that how oven button should look like. If you are using very less buttons, then because I feel there are lots of buttons which are not of any use. Then what are things that you will do to make it much more intuitive so that people can use it in a much more easier manner? Like, can you design a basic thing? I just want to know. Okay. Prashant wrote that, okay, there should be 2 buttons, on and off button. Okay, 3 button, on and off button. temperature and type of food. On temperature, up, down, stop, and time 15 seconds plus 1 second. Oh, cool. Anyone else want to give their ideas? You can go ahead, dude. It's totally fine. Anything. You can turn on your video and you can show if you have made something on off temperature and time. Okay. And it works on a microwave mode by default. Okay. Cool. Anyone else want to give their idea? Just go for it, dude. It's totally fine, I feel. If you're not knowing anything, then also try to write few things, because if you heard about this on off auto temperature time. Cool. Option for heating from up or down or both. Okay. Add another display having all function. Company should add touch screen with main buttons on the screen. It's touch screen only, dude. Like, it's not like you don't have to click it. It's basic touch screen, I feel. Main button screen. Okay, cool. Anything else people want to add? Adjusting temperatures for food. Okay. Voice recognition. Okay, it's like you're going to the next level. Connectivity with mobile phones. Okay. Anyone else want to go or want to give a thought? Or is it done? Okay. So I just want to know, many people here wrote a lot of answer, and I know people are very right here that what should people do, what should not. But I just want to know why people have not thought of keeping the whole system and trying to modify a bit. What I mean, basically, a button is there, correct? The button is there for a certain thing only, but I am the person who is not using it, but maybe other people who can use it, correct? So what they should do, or like what if any can do, they try to make it a bit more highlighted, that which is people are using it for the more often time. So if they will highlight that thing, then people will get to know, is it a much more easier manner, or let's try to keep it in a similar manner, like what it is right there. I just asked you, so can you design a bit? So everyone have thought, why not redesign it? It's not every time, it's not all about redesigning. Sometimes it's all about try to keep it as it is, and people will get used to it. Let me give you some example options. You might have seen a calculator, correct? If I'm not wrong, people have used it. If you're in college, you might have used a calculator in your college. So you will feel that every calculator looks very similar, right? That 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Other options are there, plus, minus, all kind of things. So what is happening over there? Every calculator looks very similar, right? And if you talk about mobile phones, like you might have called someone, so you can say caller pad, correct? So what you do, all numbers are there in a caller pad, and it is similar in every device. If you're using iPhone, it is similar. If you're using Pixel, it's similar. If you're using OnePlus, it's very similar. Correct. So they're not making it different. The reason behind this is that they try to make it consistent so that everyone can use it in a proper manner. Right. So for this also, like if any microwave is there of LG, Samsung, any company, they try to keep every design very similar, so that if any person is using it for anything, they will know that, okay, this is used for this. This is the thing that you should not do this. All kind of thing is very much important. Correct. So what happened here, whenever we design something, right? Whenever we try to redesign or design something, we always ask few things like why? What is why? Why it's happening? What is the reason behind this? All kind of things. So basic thing is that as a designer, we always ask why. The reason behind this why, if you not ask why, then you will not get to know about the problem, that what this problem is, how we are reaching there, what is the use cases of this, all kind of things. I can give you one more example here. I will heard about Henry Ford, if I'm not wrong. Henry Ford? Yes, no? Yes, sir. So who was he? If you guys know who is Henry Ford, I just want to know. Henry Ford, engine developer. Okay. Henry Ford is the person who have, you can say, developed the Ford car, right? So Ford car founders. Yes, very good. Nice, awesome. So yeah, I was looking for that only. So here's a person who developed, or you can say, founder of Ford car. So how he reached to that place? So before making the Ford car, he was working with certain kingdom or certain king. So a king said that I want a certain cart with 100 horses, right? Then Henry Ford asked him that why you want a cart with 100 horses? You can use it with a 10 or 5, correct? Why you want? So the king said that I want this because I want to win from my wife, because she is going to a mother place. I want to reach more faster than her. So that's why he said that's a basic thing. Correct. And after that, he said, okay, if you want for this, why not try to make it with such an engine that it will try to work more faster than horse, right? So this is how he reached to a certain conclusion. Okay, why not let's make a car rather than going with a horse. If he have never thought, if he never asked such certain question to the his king, then might be till now we are using horse only, right? So this is the thing why we should always ask why. If you're designing something, it can be a logo, it can be a poster, it can be any kind of thing. Always try to ask why if you're designing something, because it will reach you to the certain level. So if you're designing something, if you're asking why, then there should be a certain level. That this is the level that we try to follow when we are designing any app or anything. And one more thing, that I am not from design school. So for me, these terms like empathize, design, define, ideate, prototype, test looks very much, you can say, abnormal to me, because I was not from a design school. People here who are not also from design school. So for you, empathize means like empathy toward a person, that like I am trying to help that person and he's also helping me. So this is what empathy means. Correct. Defining certain things that people will understand, ideate certain things so that it will lead to certain positions, prototype so that it will look like it's working model, and test that how it's working. So there's a basic thing that I have understand when, and you will find a lot this kind of things when you search in Google, that what is the basic user flow of a design. This is the basic thing that you will find in Google also. But I don't think that this is how things work. A design process looks like this. It means firstly we have to discover things, and then we design things, and then we deliver. Right. So a discovery and design things always go around and around. It is never a straight line. You have to always try to play around and reach to a certain level that okay, this is good or this is not bad. Are we doing a good thing or not? Are we doing a bad thing or not? So this is a, you can say, a long process. From there we reach to a certain conclusion. Okay, we are designing this thing and we are delivering this option. Correct. So this is what we see as a discover, design, and delivery process for a design. Next one more example I just want to give here. So can you see your screen? My screen. Can you see my screen here? Like you'll find a cup is there. Correct. A cup is there, and how it's looking. I just want to know. Is it looking good or bad or kind of things? So it might be looking like it's a beautiful, and it is from a, you can say CCD or cafe, you can say Starbucks. It can be from that place, is correct. And if I talk about this, how it's looking like, both consist of coffees only. It's look very, you can say, what we say in Bangalore, it's basically filter coffee. Okay. So you might have heard about filter coffee term, or you might have seen. So how much you will pay for that first picture and how much you will pay for the second picture? What is the basic thing? So if you're going to Starbucks, then you might will pay 150 for this, and you don't want to pay more than 10 or 20 for this, correct? If I'm not wrong, that you will try to 125, correct? Similar to that, like you may pay 150 or around that, or 2025 for this, not more than that, correct? So what is happening here? I just want to know what is happening here. Why you will pay this much and this much to this? What is the reason behind this? So generally what happens, right? Awkward comparing to the first one, even though both are same. Yes, both are same. I know both are same. Presentation, brand, attractive look, presentation. Yes. So generally what happens, right? If any company, even for us, like if you're making an app and if you're not presenting it in such a way, then people will not find it good. And even one more example I can give, which may not be good, or like, okay, I will not give right now, but yeah. So yes, people are writing presentation, brand name, mainly design, quality, relative brands. Okay, so people are mostly talking about brand, that how brand works. So I just want to know how brand name is, how they're making a brand name. So that means like if they're giving a quality, then only a brand name will exist. If coffee is not that good, right? If coffee is not that good, but they're adding delights with that, that means if they are adding delights, that okay, they're giving Wi-Fi, they're giving ACs to the place, but the coffee is not that good. Will you go again to that place? If I'm not wrong, no, you will not go to that place, right? Because the major thing is that the quality should remain good so that you can go again, or you will go to that place. It is not always about delightful. For example, if we are making a payment app and if a payment process is not fast, how good we can make the app, but it will, people will not come and use it. I can give you an example at what Google Pay or Phone Pay is doing. Nowadays, Phone Pay is doing very good because the process of payment is very faster. But in Google Pay, maybe it got crashed sometime, or maybe people are not getting that much attention to it. People are not finding it any like such a good option, right? So people are nowadays using Phone Pay because it's very clear to the user that what to do, how to go ahead, all kind of things. Some person wrote Paytm. I'm not a big fan of Paytm. I don't know why, because they change their UI a lot. Every day they're changing a UI and they are not very much clear to what they're doing. Sometimes they are keeping Paytm Mall as their front page. Sometimes they are keeping Paytm amount as the first page. Sometimes they're keeping everything in the first page, and the icons are so much similar that you might get confused at what you're looking for. Right. So I'm not a big fan of Paytm, but yeah, I like Phone Pay, or you can say Google Pay, to transact my amount. So let's say I'm comparing it with both the things, right? So that's the thing. So if you are not, I was talking about this, you can be a good company, but if you're not giving a good, delightful to the user, then people are not coming to your page again and again, right? So that's the thing. So I was talking about this. So if you're giving delighters, then people may love it. People may love it and the people will use it. But sometimes delighters can be also frustrators. What I was talking about for Paytm. So what Paytm is doing, Paytm is not doing in such a good manner that people will use it. People will come again and again and use it for the good manners, right? So this is what I think that people should follow. And one more thing that I just want to share here is like Kano model. So it is one of the models that people generally use to make an app. And this, you can say, this is the most captured picture whenever I give a presentation, because from there people will get to know a lot. What I was talking about, I was talking about Google Pay, right? So if Google Pay is giving delighters, what delighter means, if Google Pay is giving 10 rupees every time when you transaction amount, so what will happen? A delighters will become a normal thing. Right. If it will become normal thing, then what will happen? You know that if I'm transaction 100 rupees, 10 rupees I will get back, and 90 I have to pay only 90. Right. So it will just come to the satisfier line. If it is coming to satisfier line, that means what will happen if you suddenly switching it off? Like if you're not giving cashback, then what will happen? People will think that okay, I'm not getting it right now. So on the time people will not use it. People will not find it okay. Now Google Pay is not giving anything. Why I will use it? Because now they are thinking that it's a basic need that they have to give it only. So that's why they don't give it every time, because it is a delighter delighters for them, right? One more thing I just want to give, people use Swiggy, Zomato here. They sometimes give offers and all kind of things, right? These are the basic delighters. So what will happen, whenever you will find that they are not taking delivery charge, they're not taking extra taxes, then you will find very good that okay, they're not taking it right now, that means they are taking a less amount. No, they're not taking less amount, they're just trying to show you that okay, we are not taking that amount, right? But they already know that you're going to use it, right? So they are trying to add those amount earlier in the amount, and then they're showing you. But for you guys, you think that it's a delighter for you, you find okay, let's use it and try to go in such a way. Right? So this is what we do when we are designing anything, so that a delighter, or you can satisfy or basic need, should not overlap with each other. Basic needs should be there, because what people are coming here for example, if I'm the person who's going for the Swiggy to order my food, so my basic need is to order a food, correct? So what I will do, I will try to select a food, I will try to order from certain restaurants. But if anyone is giving delighter, then that's a +1 to it, it's not nothing bad. So yes, this is the basic that we follow whenever we're designing anything and when we're going ahead with it, correct? Sorry for this. Cool. So any question anyone have? So this is it from my side. I think it's more than hours and people might get bored. I just don't want to extend. So yes, any question anyone want to ask, go ahead. I am open to answer each and everything people want to ask. Anyone? You can write chat also. It's fine. Someone wrote summarize what we learned today, so please. So obviously, when we try to talk about product design and UI UX, I can't teach you how to design, right? But I can teach you the basic process that we follow when we're designing something. Because if you try to relate each and everything with your real life, right, then you understand that design is very much easier to you when you're doing certain. So what I have done today, I try to use few methods that we use every day, how to compare things, how to find things very much different, how bigger apps use different things, how smaller apps use different things, in such a way that you can understand and understand and connect to your real life, right? That's a basic thing that we discussed today on what we call as a UX and conversion. Basically, how should I visualize a problem as a product solution? Okay, so generally what happens, I can give you one example here. Can you show us some of your designs? I can show you, just wait for a second. How should I visualize a problem as a product solutions? So basic thing that we do is try to understand that what is happening in real life. For example, if you're going to a shop, normal shop, vegetable shop, or you can say cloth shops, apparel shops, correct? What will happen over there, if you're going to any shop, any mall, you go to a certain section, right? If you want to buy for a male, female, or a child, children, you go to the male section, female section, and from there you look for any company, that which company uniform you want, okay, company dress you want, you go to that section again, and then you choose certain clothes, you try to keep those in a cart, and then you come to the, you can say, reception, and you pay that amount and you go to your home, right? Similar thing that we do in a Myntra also, that we log into a Myntra app, then we find that what section you want, men or children or anything, then we go to that section, and then we try to decide that okay, we are looking for what kind of clothes, what kind of company, what kind of like small t-shirts, jeans, we write those things, and we go to that section, we add to the cart, and then we try to pay that in a payment portal, and we used to, and then few days after few days it will come to your place. So what happened in both the scenario, the scene is very much equal, very much equivalent in both the places. It's not different, right? But what is happening here in an app, we have to show in such a way that people should understand and visualize that how things are working. So whenever you are designing any product, right, always try to visualize that how it's working in real life. Then only you will get to understand that how it will work and what are things that you should improve if you are trying to make in an app, right? So that's the thing. any more question that people want to ask?
Hello, sir.
Yeah, hi Prakash.
So, what should be what should be the basic skills of a UX designer companies are asking for?
So
Because
generally, yeah.
yeah, so I was searching like most of the companies are asking for 1 to 3 year experience while applying, but some companies are not. So, what will be the basic skill set they are asking for if we are planning to you are planning to switch from a basic engineering either from the civil mechanical or any to UX design.
Okay. So the basic thing that people look for, even we, when we take interviews, right, of our interns or the newbies, or you can say the new people who want to join from a different background. So we in India, where I will talk about my company or like my company or an academy of values because we are very close to each other. So we know that what is the process basically. So what we do generally, we never think that if any person is coming from the engineering background, then it's good for us. The reason behind this is like if any person has studied from a design school, right? So they know the process, they know that uh, how to go from A to Z. But if any person is very much enthused toward design and he want to join a design company or design job, then he knows a design thing and how much confident he is. We look for basic things like how much confident he is, what are things that he knows, how he can do that certain work in how like in how much time, right? So basically we look for confident, how much confident and what is the attitude toward his work, right? And about the skills, then that person should be a good in design. Basic design, what I means basically is like how he thinks, what is his thinking criteria, how he think about a product, what is the basic design skill, what are the software he knows. Currently we are using Figma, so if you know Figma, then it's a very much useful device that will help
Yes,
you.
sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Uh,
that's the basic.
yeah, Figma. So, but now Figma is paid. So, is it compulsory to go through switch to Figma?
So so nowadays every company is using Figma only, right? So
Yeah, yeah.
it's better because it's better to use it in such a way. So if you are making your portfolio, if you're making your projects, then you can make in Figma, right? So if I'm taking an interview, then I don't have to switch to a different app or different software like XD or Sketch to check your portfolio or check your device, right? It's better to stay in that.
Okay, sir.
Yes. Cool. Anyone else want to go ahead or want to ask anything?
Hello, Sushant. A very good
Hi,
evening to
hi,
you.
Prem. Hi, Prem.
Yeah, before I ask my question, I just want to appreciate you for your presentation. It was actually too good, and
Thanks.
it made me think about a lot of questions. So I just want to ask this one question. Okay.
Yes.
So you are familiar, right? Like in this increasingly automated world where AI is like leading people,
Mhm.
where will people find inspiration in the next 5, 10, 15 years?
So even few days back, even we designers were discussing about the similar thing, that how like if AI ML is coming to the world and how it will impact to designers. So I will say it will not impact that much. The reason
Okay.
behind this is because we are the designers who are trying to think in a such a way, and every time the product is not similar, right? For example, if you're paying from one, you can say paying in Amazon and paying from Myntra, both are not similar somehow because the services they are using might be different. For example, if you might have seen the timer whenever you're paying certain thing, correct? If I'm not wrong, like
Yeah,
if
yeah,
you're,
it's like a timeout thing, something like that.
yeah, you will find a certain timer which is there. Which, do you know what's the reason behind that timer?
Yeah, because what if something gets corrupt, or like what if he refreshes the browser? The whole payment thing will just get cancelled.
So what will happen then?
It'll just, I mean, it depends on the situation. If the guy is very unlucky, his transaction will be happening, but still the amount will be deducted, but it'll show like the payment has not happened.
Okay.
Like it's basically for the safety purposes they keep. That's what I know.
Okay. So generally, we as a designer, we We just kept those things so that people will not think to go back. Right.
Okay.
Really, what happens
Second thoughts.
if you're buying anything from Myntra, right, and if you have come to the payment portal, and if timer is not there, then you might think that okay, let's go back and try to select any other thing from the system or from any places, right? And what will happen for us, for a company, we are getting a loss because you are not completing your journey, right? So what we do, we try to give a timer over there so that you will not think a lot to go back. And we are already trying to show that okay, if you not complete a transaction, then maybe your payment will not get completed, right? So we Indians are very much love our money, right? Then we always think that okay,
I know.
let's complete it. And so if you're completing the journey, then what will happen? You are not going ahead, you are buying the product and it's completing it. So there are a few things that only designers or only human mind can think in a such a way, right? Which AI cannot think in every platform. Obviously, it can help us to create the components, to make the app, to keep all the object in a good way. But what we do, that what are the thinking which is happening in making an app, which no one can make it. That's a basic thing that what we feel. Right? Yeah.
Exactly. Thank you so much, sir.
Yeah,
It was a pleasure.
Yeah, cool.
Hello, sir.
Hi, Pragati.
So, sir, I have this. So, can you tell, like, if will the product or the app or the website right now would be better if it has like more features, or it is more concentrated on the actual cause it was made for? Like, suppose there are some apps which are like they have just one use and they are sticking on that use, and there are some other apps like Zomato is recently putting videos and all that. So do you think that makes it more distractive, or is it more better for user interaction?
So it totally depends upon the how apps are trying to implement those things. So we call, like, when any app is adding a lot of things, we call, or you can say lot of, if app is doing lot of things, then we call that app a super app, correct? So what super apps basically means, when, like what Paytm is basically, Paytm is added Paytm malls, Paytm normal thing, you can book tickets, you can buy clothes, all kind of things. So we call those apps as super app. As you said, that what Zomato is doing, they added videos and all kind of things to their apps, correct? The reason behind this is they want that users should stay connected to it. Like how much if users connected, that means they will try to use in their good way. Generally what happens, if you are watching a video, they will not post dancing video over there, correct? They will put a food video or food making video. So what is happening here, like generally what, like if you will find a food ad, right, then even you want to order something from that place. So what they're doing, they're just trying to add certain thing element in their app so that it will try to incline you to a food thing so that you can order more, right? So they are trying to keep the user as much time as possible in their app, right? This is the basic thing that they do.
So you think that putting more features, which is not exactly what the app was made for, is good for the app, given it is on the same topic?
So
Or
I'm not talking about that. I'm just talking that don't make it a primary thing. Make it as a complementary thing. So if you always try to keep a primary thing in the first page, and inside that you can keep all kind of you can say contemporary things, not other than that. Yes.
Hello, sir.
Hi Prashant. Hi Prashant.
Sir, I was asking what to do for starting in animation designing.
Animation design. So first of all, you should know basic of graphic design, then how design works, and then you can use After. If you ever heard about the term After Effects, like you can use After Effects to animate those things, right? So basically, you have to be good in graphic design so that you should understand the basic mathematics that we use when we're trying to make a graphics, right? That how big the leg should be, how much the hand should be. So if it's moving, then in which direction it should move. And the basic thing that if you're making animating something, right, always try to think in a way of real life. For example, if you have dropped a ball from this place, then you know that ball will come to a little bit height, it will not come back to your hand. Right. So always try to keep things in a very real life situation that people should connect it in a much more easier manner. Yes.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
So you can use After Effects for that, like if you want to learn animation.
Okay, sir.
Cool. Okay, fine.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, hi.
So I use this site. I really appreciate your effort for your awesome presentation.
Thanks,
So
man.
my question is, said that as far as I have taken over the whole presentation. That human cycle, that designing part is more connected to the human psychology. That what human needs to think about a certain design or something else.
Yes, yes.
So my opinion is that we used to have a separate subject for studying this designing part in BTech. So what else we are going to study apart from this session? What else we have to learn in order to delve more deeper into the subject?
So
And
in which
what are some of the resources you can refer?
so in which subject you're talking about? You're talking about design, like UI, UX, or basic?
UI UX.
Okay. So what have I taught you is basic that you should follow when you are thinking about a design. But like after thinking, people have to implement those also. And I don't have to like what I thought that I will not teach you the implement part because it will be a very much into software based and it will become very lengthy. So I thought, why not, let's say, to give a thinking process, and people who really want to learn design, then they can incline to a design, they can learn the software and they can make it, right? So the process is a bit lengthy over there. Firstly, we do user research, that what kind of a user we are looking for, and after that we do mind mapping kind of thing, that how and what the user flow will work, and then we try to make wireframes, and then we try to prototype. So this is a very lengthy process that people should follow. I can suggest you some of the courses that you can go ahead and you can learn. And so there are lots of, you can say, courses in Coursera about the basic beginners. If you don't want to apply for Coursera, you can find on YouTube also. Nowadays, a lot of people are making YouTube videos of how you can proceed with a design background about UI UX or what are the things that you can do. You will find it, you'll get it normally, dude. It's totally fine. Yeah.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Cool. Yeah.
Hello, sir.
Yeah. Hi, Harsh.
Sir, I want to ask you, sir. You said you make user interface of your app, right?
Yeah.
So generally we use Android Studio for making this.
Dude, okay. So I think you get it a very wrong thing. The reason behind this, you try to develop things from the Android Studio, if I'm not wrong, right? You try to code those things,
Yeah.
right? But before coding, we design those things, that how to look like, what are the flow it will be. So what you do, like if you want to use a search icon, then what you do? You try to search in Google that, okay, this is a search icon that you can use it and you can use in the development part, correct? But we try to make those things that how it will go with the design process, with the design system. Whenever you try to open Zomato and Swiggy, all kind of things, you will find that all icons look very similar. All colors look very similar. What's the reason behind this? Firstly, we try to make a design system that how to look like, what are things going good or not, and what are things that you can proceed. I can show you something about design system. I was talking about it too.
Yes, sir.
Is it visible? Oh, wait. Okay, let me share my screen. Cool. So you will find here that whenever we design something, right, firstly we try to make things that how to look like basic, like how buttons should look like, how icons should look like, and then we try to implement those things in a screens, that how screen will look like, all kind of things, right? Then we try to proceed with those things. It's not that, because when you talk about the Android Studio kind of things, what is happening there, you try to use those things from internet, but in real life you can't do that because it may be a copyright issue from a company who have designed those things, right? So we have to
Yes.
think in all ways that why designers is there, because they try to design the flow, that how to go from one screen to other screen. Because as a designer, as a developer, you think that okay, because you're coding those things, right? So for you, coding is the basic thing, coding is a major thing. So you will not look more into the design portion. If I'm not wrong, you will, if you have tried to find any icon from the internet and you can use it, but we as a designer always think that, okay, is it going with it or not? Like, what are the good things that we can do? Like, if we are doing a swipe, then swipe is a very clear swipe or not. Other things that we look for, then we try to give that to developers, and then they try to develop that.
Yes, sir. Sir, can you please tell me what tool you use for designing the user interface?
We use Figma tool. I can show you some of the screen that
Yes, sir.
how we design and what. Just a second, do. Some people heard about PayZap. Anyone heard about PayZap? HDFC PayZap or Pocket?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Let me share screen. So few days back, we were designing a PayZap app from. So can you see my screen?
Yes, sir. It's very well.
Right. So you'll find that this is how a screen should look like. That we have designed the whole thing, how where the icon should be there, what is the thing that we can do, what are icons, what design should look like. So after doing the whole stuff, then we give this to the developers, and then they develop accordingly to what is visible in front of them. Right.
Yes.
This is what we do.
Yes, sir. Got it.
Cool. Yeah. Anyone else have any doubt, anything? You can ask, or it's fine. Cool. So yeah. Okay, fine. So I hope everyone's clear with the doubt. So yes, guys, thanks for attending the whole session, and I hope you guys have enjoyed a bit, and the whole session was kind of helpful for you guys. Okay, your design. Okay, let me show you my design. So nowadays I am very much into my office work, so I don't get that much time to design, but someday I tend to design. Let me share my Dribble account. So earlier I used to post in Dribble, but nowadays I'm not getting that much time to post things, but I can share some of my design that I have designed very earlier. Nowadays I'm not getting that much time, but yes, let me share.
Hello, sir.
Yeah,
So,
hi.
by the way, I wanted to ask, like, do you need to have like development skills for all the elements that you design, or is it like I know in bigger companies there are separate teams for every small thing, but in a smaller scale, like in a startup scale, suppose, so you would need to have the development skills for all the elements before designing, or not? Like,
No.
should you start the development side, or should you like
A big no, first of all, because you don't need a developer skill, because if you're a designer, then your work is to design, not to develop, first of all, right? So you have to take a back seat when development is happening. You can help them, but the major thing is that you should know a basic of development. Generally what happens, you have designed something which may not be possible to develop, right? So you should know a basic of development so that you can help your developer friend, right? So that's why if you know a basic, then it's fine. If not, then it's okay, you can learn. You should know basic. I'm not asking you to learn a lot, right? So that's the thing. Okay,
okay, sir.
Let me share my screen, because nowadays I'm not. So can you see my screen? So earlier I used to design a lot because when I was in college, but nowadays I'm not getting that much time because working things, all kind of thing is happening. So yes, so these are things that I used to work earlier, but now I'm not getting that much time. So I think it's visible from here only. And as a company policies, we cannot post our company work here. So yes.
So the every design that I was saying, sir, you designed it all with the help of Figma app.
Earlier I was using Illustrator, but nowadays I am more into Figma because Figma is very trending nowadays. So yeah, earlier I used Illustrator for making everything. Yeah,
So you just need a creative mind. You do not need a drawing skill. You do not need for this.
Oh, so it is a quite diplomatic, I can say, but it totally depend upon people. Like, you can be a good in design, you cannot be a good in design. But the thing is that, like, if you're good in design, then it may be helpful for you to proceed in a good way. But if you're not good in design, then it's fine. But your thinking skill should be good to reach to a certain level. Right. Because if you are good in sketching, then you can sketch in a pen and paper and you can try to scan it out and you can keep in your Illustrator and you can try to design it in that way. But if you're not good in design, but if you think in a good design manner, you can go ahead and you can find it good.
So are you good at drawing skill? Do you have any? Do you have drawing skills?
I don't have an awesome design skill, but I have a good design skill that I can say.
Do you post them somewhere? I want to see.
I rarely post, but I have one Insta page where I used to post, but nowadays I'm not doing.
Can you share it?
Yes, I will share with you guys.
Yes, sir. Share it in the chat box, please.
Okay, cool. Okay, fine. Anything else? If you want to go ahead, you can. All. Okay, fine. Then thanks a lot, guys. Thanks for attending the whole thing, and I hope you guys have learned something from me. Yeah, that's it from my side. I hope, and enjoy your whole event. What is happening, right? And let's hope that I can come to a college anytime after this corona will get over. Cool. Yeah. Thank you, guys.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much for joining us. And I know, I mean, I know you must be having a jam-packed schedule, but you managed it anyway. So, on behalf of our DSC team, I really extend a heartful thank you for giving us your precious time. And as just you say, we hope we'll meet soon in this offline world. I hope
Yeah.
so somewhere.
Because taking session in the offline thing is very much easy, I feel, because I can see the
Yeah,
expression that what people are going
yeah,
through, right?
exactly. You can really read our expressions, and yeah,
Yes,
it's
yes.
very important this stuff.
Yeah.
So thank you so much, and I hope we gave you the most hospitable environment that we can, that's possible online, and we'll meet soon. And
Yeah.
thank you all the participants for joining us and giving us your contribution to this event. You all are really appreciated. And I would like to remind you this tomorrow is our design day too, so you all are really welcome. Tomorrow, you will learn modern tech design, how to define constraint and choose appropriate tech. Our speaker will be Mr. Harsh Bardhan Mishra. He's a software developer. So, see you there tomorrow at the same time, same place, obviously, Google Meet. And thanks again. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Bye bye.